Hey guys, welcome to recap episode 2. Here with my guys as usual. I guess first time we're trying this out. I guess the visual or the video studio here. So
Yeah, it's the first
Yeah,
time we're recording remotely in a long time, and
yeah,
it's been interesting to set this up.
probably like our first and second season, right? That was the last time we did any virtual recording, and we didn't. I mean, we didn't do video then either. So
yeah, for sure. This should be fun. Like, I think these recaps help us to catch things, a lot quicker, like in the moment, while they're still going on sometimes. But yeah, let's jump right into it.
yep. So as of today, there's been 4 Champions League quarterfinals. First leg already played. Bruh, those games didn't disappoint, man. Like I can't
Not
remember
one
the
bit.
last time. Can't remember the last time. I've been watching UCL quarterfinals, and we've seen that many goals. People mention how the whole, I guess, the away rules low-key might have helped, and I was one of the people that hated the fact that there were no away goals anymore because I felt like it made, that was one of the unique things you had with the UCL. But I think we know away goals, like teams actually just play their game, which allows for like attacking football, whether you're home or away.
Nah, I've always been against the away goal rule because it doesn't make sense that you just get a goal for nothing. Like that's not to me. To me, that was never football. Like it never made sense to me. Like how do you just get a goal for actually doing nothing,
Yeah,
literally.
I mean,
Go
So
it's
for
protect home court.
defending.
It protects. It
say
gives
that again.
protect your home. It
You
gives
get a
protect your
goal
home
for
court.
you get a free goal for defending,
A free goal. Free is the word there. Like free means you did
but you
nothing
do
to
some.
deserve it.
You defended in your home. Away goal is not just given because you played. You
Yeah,
defended
and
in your
I
home,
mean, it
so they
only
scored
comes
you
in.
less.
It only comes in when result is tied as well, right?
True,
But
it was just a way to
but
divide.
yeah, but fair enough. But anyways, let's get into some of those games. So first game here, let's speak on Arsenal versus Bayern. Andrew,
Oh,
we always
oh
have to give you the floor, man. These are your
man,
boys.
that game had a whole lot of talking points. Talking points are even still trending as we speak, even a day after the game was played. In my opinion, the game was good. I think the game was very entertaining. Uh, I I wasn't able to watch the second half because I'm taking my health seriously this year, and I don't want to die. But the first half was so entertaining, and it was like so high paced. It was literally like a FIFA game. Like you could tell that Arsenal was ready to win that game.
Yeah,
And you could also tell that Bayern came to Arsenal very prepared. They knew what Arsenal was going to do, and they knew that they had the lower support because they didn't have any fans in the stadium. They knew that they were going to go there and defend and counter attack, and they did that like exquisitely well in the first half. Like I was like shocked that all the praise and everything we've heard about our defense so far, like they didn't expect Bayern to defend, sorry, to counter attack that way when they have Sané and Gnabry. Like it was automatic, like it was common sense. But you know, I feel that was good, and I also feel like um, the other talking points. I think it's just part of this part of entertainment in the sport, like the penalty, the red card for Kane, the handball in the box, all those things is just what makes us, remember why we used to love the sport, or why we love this sport, the entertainment. I feel like we've not had such controversy like in a long time. We have like maybe one or two, and they're mostly VAR, but now we just had like pure entertainment. And I like the way the refed. He just let it go. He didn't really try to destroy the game by calling some stupid calls that would have, you know, affected the game in one way or the other. So I feel like it was a well-rounded game from beginning to the end. I feel like Arsenal going to Munich to play. I think Arsenal has the upper hand. I feel like these boys can actually win. Um, but I also don't think they'll win like easily. It'll probably be a draw, a late goal, or penalty. It will not just like be a walkover for both
yeah,
teams.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Just any thoughts there as well?
No, I think you touched on most things. The only thing that I would say is like a huge talking point recently has been like the whole like Saka diving and stuff like that. And honestly, I never noticed it till like recently when they brought out a lot of videos where like he kind of leaves his leg back for a defender to hit it and stuff like that. And that's just been interesting to see, like you mentioned, Andrew, like how many things can come out of like a Champions League game with so much intensity and so much at stake, right? Yeah, like I haven't
In my
seen.
opinion, it wasn't a dive though, but
Yeah,
that's
I
just
don't
my
think it was a
opinion.
dive, but it's not a penalty.
Well, I think it depends on the competition you're playing.
If it was Prem, they would give a pen because Prem refs are not, in my opinion, they are relatively stupid refs.
So it just depends on the referee. But
Yeah, but
as
that
you
doesn't make it
said,
right,
he
though.
no, it's just we've all played football. Like there's something that I used to do when I was very good at playing football. If I'm stuck in a corner, I can shoot the ball in your hand to get like a foul or a free kick. It's a professional foul, professional. That's what they call it. They call it technique, they call it tactics. You bend the rule to favor you. It doesn't mean you're not right, like you're
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, but I think he tried to bend the rule. He was almost there,
In this
but
one, I don't
he
think he did.
overdid. He overdid it, and I think that was why they didn't give him the pen.
In this one, I don't think he did. I just feel like there was nothing else he could have done in that position. There's
Yeah,
just
He
nothing
could have
else he
I
could have
know.
scored.
done.
Yeah, and
No,
I know.
how?
By
He already beat
He
the
beat the
keeper.
keeper.
So how was he going to score? Where
No,
was
I'm
his
saying like
leg
if
going
like I'm
to?
saying like
He couldn't keep running.
he could have skipped that fake challenge and gone to score. Like he like if Saka was focused on scoring there, he won't have gone
Because it
down.
would have been an empty. Even if he went down there, the spin, he'd have had like a split second to hit the ball because the keeper was out of the net.
Yeah,
It
and there
was
was
like
only one
one
defender ran
defender.
back, but it would have been you versus
Like
defender and
I
everything.
agree on all this, but like I still don't understand how you expect somebody running at his full pace
That was in full
to
pace.
just. I think you
See,
need to watch.
even if it
Anyways,
was
let's
even
just.
even if it was full pace, my own thing is why I don't think it's a pen is like that's an unnatural movement of your right leg.
Yeah,
Finish.
agreed,
Do you get? And
agreed.
for me, and my point is, if he didn't put effort into moving his right leg that way, then there's a very good chance he would have been able to finish that because he
Yeah,
beat Neuer. He beat Neuer already, like done.
and I
Yeah,
think
Possibly.
Saka is on the floor too much. I know he gets fouled a lot, but I think like he buys into that so much where like he's always looking for that foul like when he cuts in, and sometimes it's like you're way better than this. Like just take your chances, shoot the ball, do what you can. Like I feel like he exaggerates fouls. Like a lot of times when he gets kicked, you can see him laying on the ground. I genuinely hate players that do that, especially someone like Bruno Fernandez. And I see it a lot with Saka, like more recently, like where he's always on the ground, always faking an injury, like and then he always plays the next game. So it's kind of frustrating for me to see players like that sometimes. So yeah.
So I think that also plays a part with what we were talking about like a couple weeks ago with how wingers are now like they're no longer saucy because someone like Saka back in the days would never be in top five conversations
Yeah.
for any winger. So like our best wingers in quotes are diving and doing all these tactics
theatrics.
to
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
ahead.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
They're no longer as saucy as back in the days. They would have given that keeper like two leg over or something and put it inside his net. But
Like
now
that's
Yeah,
yeah.
guys are looking for pens now.
That's
Guys are looking
his
for
yeah.
fouls. Guys are yeah,
everybody's playing tactics, trying to
yeah,
shall win.
yeah, yeah. Anyways, I guess moving on from this, was a very very good game. I think Bayern, like we expected Bayern to turn up because they're Bayern, but seeing them turn up was still surprising for a lot of people because it just reminded guys that these guys have Sani, these guys have Gnabry, like so it was really good game. Next game here would be Madrid versus City. Tosin, do you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I can kick us off on that one because honestly, I watched Madrid versus City in the first half, and then trying to like switch back and forth between Madrid and City and Arsenal and Bayern second half. But the first half, I was just locked in on Madrid City because that's probably some of the best football I've ever seen. Like I feel like the finishing on Madrid's end could have been better, especially with like Vinicius and Rodrigo. But those two guys are literally like a counter-attacking system on their own because they can receive the ball and they can make the next pass. Like a lot of times when teams want to play on the counter, it's the first guy that gets the ball that has to make the right choice. Like the first guy that gets the ball from the clearance or from the pass outside of the box, that guy has to find the next pass. Like, and Rodrigo and Vinicius did that amazingly well. Like just seeing how much, how much skill they have against like Man City defenders, how much pace they have over Man City defenders. It's a different level of like skill. Like there was zero fear in those guys. And I think a lot of times when teams play Man City, they're like scared of like players like just mentally. I feel like they're scared of
Yeah,
players like Akanji strong, 6'3", 6'2", can do everything. Scared of players like Stones. Like Stones was on the floor a couple times yesterday. Like he looked like a regular player, right? Even the defender, what's his name? Even Rodri lost the ball a lot of times.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
there are a lot.
The-
Ruben Diaz as well. Like, you know,
I have something to chime in on. There was something I noticed in that City game because obviously I switched the City game for the second half. Kyle Walker didn't play, and I feel like Madrid's manager knew that Kyle Walker wasn't playing, and he knows the amount of threat Kyle Walker would have
yeah,
been. So I feel like that's why most of the attacks just came from the left.
yeah.
He
He,
just
he
poured
took
everything.
to
He
the
took
point you
full
made. I
advantage.
noticed that where it's just like he took full advantage of the fact that there's no Walker. Like
Yeah,
Rodrigo and Vinny were like
they were
having
just
fun on
there.
that wing.
There was
yeah,
no
Yeah,
but
one from here.
but also in reality, like Rodrigo or Vinicius wouldn't be scared to play against Kyle Walker. That's
no,
why I
no,
like.
don't
That's why
don't
I
be
like.
scared for sure.
Yeah,
That's
they
why I
won't be
like.
scared, but
It's
it's
not like
easier this way.
for sure. It's not like a Rashford situation where like Rashford like no, literally like I've seen so many times where like Rashford isn't looking to take on
This guy is just
Kawaka
shitting on
one
Man
v
U
one.
players.
I'm not. I just watch the games and
Yeah, because he's scared of the fact that
No,
oh,
I
like
agree. I
if
agree.
I
yeah,
run with this guy, he will catch me, or
a,
like I
a
won't
lot
get
of players
spared,
think
or
that, yeah, like Sterling is one player that I know isn't scared of Kyle Walker. Like that's one guy in England I know isn't scared of Kyle Walker. Like, but players like Rodrigo, Vinicius, they're taking you on 1v1 every single time. Like every single time they get the ball, they're coming for your head, right? So I just liked to see that level of like competition. And the last thing I wanted to touch on was Man City had some really good like performances. Like Foden in the first half was a ghost. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't actually know he was playing till like the 48 minutes. Right,
I think I saw your tweet.
I genuinely didn't know he was playing, and then when I saw that he had like a pass or two, I was like, oh wow! And then he scored the amazing goal, obviously. But all the goals in that game were like the commentator was saying like they felt like training ground goals because those guys were playing with so much freedom and just like their level of skill was just different.
yeah,
Like it's probably some of the best football that I've seen in a while.
yeah. I
But
think to that last point you made, like it was just like senior man ball overall, where you're just seeing two teams that have no fear in terms of like, bro, like we're that good, and Madrid plays like that, like I think both teams were down at some points,
mhm.
Yeah,
and they didn't get rattled. Do you get like, and man, those were some amazing goals from everyone, like from the first goal to Foden to Valverde. It's like everyone, right? I mean, outside of the deflection, but yeah, and I guess really quickly on Haaland too. Haaland was, yeah, I guess that was
Pe-
another player that
people
didn't really do
people say he
much.
was. People say he ghosted in the game, but me
The
watching the
people,
second half, he literally didn't ghost because it was being man marked.
yeah,
And
I
that is
feel,
also eliminating because man marking is eliminating two players. It's
yeah,
not just one
yeah,
player.
yeah,
It eliminates Rudiger from the game. Rudiger never came up front for any crossing or corner. His head did not hit the ball for anything. He didn't do anything like he would have usually done to add some extra flair for the attacking side. He was just fully on defense.
yeah. I mean,
So
to that
it,
point, like sometimes it could also be a tactic for say someone like Pep, where okay, if you're going to mark Rudiger that way, if you're going to mark Haaland that way, then that leaves more room for our
yeah,
players, right? But then
is
that's just playing to Haaland's weakness, which is at the end of the day, if they're not even marking Haaland that way and he had to like say drop deep and things like that, like we all know how he's not that well rounded when it comes to all those other things, right? So, but again, you kind of have to man mark him because if you get through in your box, he's a one touch specialist. So yeah.
exactly.
But yeah, I think. I think that's it for that game. Second leg would definitely be crazy as well.
Yeah, I don't believe we get this again next week. I think that's
Yeah,
Yeah, I
insane.
think it
Like,
was. I think what happened this week was based or solely because of the eclipse. Like the eclipse just made everyone crazy. That's just what I think.
but
Guy.
guys,
yeah,
please, man. But I
People have
think
been going off.
everyone also come more because as a coach, for instance, you're not telling your players, yeah, it was 3-3 this week. Like, yo, let's go out there and try and score four next week, right? Like they're going to be speaking to their players on some. We can't be conceding three goals, you know. So I feel automatically that kind of forces teams to again be
Facts.
be more careful. But anyways, on to the next game: Barcelona and PSG.
You can go on this one.
So that game, honestly, I think my overall prediction was for Barcelona to qualify, but I did think PSG would win the game today. I mean, they definitely had the chance to at different points, but yeah, like PSG for me watching that game, they're just not good enough in terms of when you're looking at their players individually from start to finish. Like you have Mbappe. Like Mbappe also didn't really do much today. He was there. You saw flashes of brilliance here and there, but again, he didn't really impact the game. And then Barcelona were just the better team, honestly. Like the first half, for most of the first half, like they were the better team. Second half, PSG had like the quick 10 minutes span where they took the lead again. And then I feel like Barcelona just kind of went on to again be the better team. Yeah, and Rafinha's second goal was like that was some finish. Like it definitely isn't easy to take the ball one time from overhead pass. And yeah, I think for that game, honestly, that was just really it. Like I didn't know what to expect. 3-2 was definitely generous. I didn't think I didn't think we'd see that many goals for that game, but it was a really good game. Expected PSG to win since they were home, but yeah,
yeah, I agree with you. I think I expected Barcelona to win, and the truth is, Barca still have an identity, right? They still have the way they play from the back, the whole tiki taka thing. Because at the end, like that's the era that Xavi was raised in, right? They still look very dominant in certain positions, certain periods in the game. They know how to keep the ball. But I don't think they have the players that they had. Obviously, like
yeah,
Pedri came in today and he was amazing. I think I'm biased though because I'm just a huge fan of players that have really good ball control. They know how to read the game, and he does that so well. Like there's just certain moments where you need a player that can relieve some pressure, right? And he does that super well. Like he does that extremely well. So Ferran Torres was good too. Few standout players like obviously Lewandowski is always a threat,
yeah,
but again with PSG, I think they're just kind of like going through the motions this season. Like they're not. I don't think they're expecting to win the Champions League. Like Mbappe is out
yeah,
next
for sure.
year. Um, you know they have a couple players, but what I would say, and correct me if you guys think I'm wrong, because I don't watch them a lot, but when I do watch them, I feel like if you took out Mbappe and Dembele, like that's pretty much like an Everton or Crystal Palace.
Yeah, bro, you're right.
I was about to say that. That was
a
what I was
thousand,
about to
a
say.
thousand percent.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
When they were bringing on their subs and they were bringing on what's that guy's name, Baroka or whatever his
Yeah,
name is, the guy on the
Bakola.
right.
Yeah,
He was just missing so many chances. I was just like, what's going on? Like this is like Newcastle level. You're not meant to be in PSG, bro. Like this is Champions League quarterfinals. Shoot the ball. Why are you hesitating? Why are you scared? Like you don't get these chances often. You're not playing in League
yeah.
One. This is not Farmers League. But I think I don't blame them. I just blame like the management of PSG as a whole. Their signings have just been. It's not been poor, but you can just
You
tell
know,
that
it's been
they
it's
don't
been
really
poor, bro. It's been
they don't
poor
really
because they signed
yeah.
they signed like a big club from a like over the best and biggest team in League One. So we attract the stars. So they sign based off of that, as opposed to like, okay, this is how we want to play football. This is our identity, and these are the kind of players we need to enforce that kind of football. I don't think they don't sign players like that. And when you sign good players in a league like League One, you can just get away with it because you're just you're just more talented than every team. So like you don't even have to get your tactics all the way right to win the league. When it comes to
True.
Champions League, it's not about the most talented squad. Like it typically is the the best coached teams and kind of like the most talented teams, and you just kind of find somewhere in the middle to to for that to intersect, and that's typically who wins, right? Like there are very,
Yeah.
very few times you see a team, and honestly, when you even see the teams that get lucky and win champs, they're usually very well coached teams. So it's just like, these guys, their tactic was to maybe pack the bus and counter, and they were not top three most talented teams that year, but they coached them like near perfect, right? So again, it's always that, and you hardly see a very talented team win Champions League that isn't coached well. Madrid is probably the closest thing to like a very talented team that might not have been coached well and still went on to.
It's hard to say that because they won it three times. The
Yeah.
first time I would
And
have I
yeah.
would have agreed with you to say like, okay, they ain't no really know it. But if we think about it, Madrid actually won the Champions League three times in a row.
Yeah,
That
man.
is insane.
That's scary.
It doesn't make sense.
Like
It doesn't make
I don't
sense.
care if that's all like Zidane did in his career. I feel like that just puts him up there with like some of the best coaches ever. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Facts.
and I
Yeah.
think I
100%.
think he had one La Liga, maybe one.
Yeah, he
I think he
probably
had
won the
one.
league at least once. Yeah, but yeah, that was. I mean, that was interesting. Like, and now they're going to Camp Nou. It's hard for me to see them win that. But as you all know, Mbappe is kind of guy that loves
That's what I
adversity.
was about to say. I have a take on Bellingham, Mbappe, and
Haaland.
Haaland. I feel
Yeah,
like they will turn up in the second leg. They just have to.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
at this point, it's like those games to them is like World Cup final, especially for Haaland, especially for Bellingham. Like you want to win this Ballon d'Or, you want to get all these awards later on. This is the game. If you
yeah.
don't do anything in this game, forget
Especially
to.
because they didn't turn up in the first game. So it's like
Yeah.
you
So
don't turn up in
this
the
is the
first game
game.
for a star, for a superstar.
Mhm.
I can't have back to back games like that,
Yeah,
right? So
if you look at history, like just Champions League as a whole, like Messi, for example, does a Messi AC Milan, sorry, Barcelona AC Milan, first leg AC Milan won, second leg, you know what's coming now. You
yeah,
know it. Even Ronaldo against
Ronaldo,
Wolfsburg,
yeah.
you know what's coming.
Wolfsburg,
That's how. That's
Atletico,
when
Ronaldo
you.
has done that shit countless times.
Yeah, that's when you prove like. So that's why
Yeah,
I'm expecting them to do something like that. Like,
Ronaldo's a
Yeah,
champion.
hopefully
Yeah,
they do it.
yeah. I
Ronaldo's a
think Ronaldo is the
Champions League
most.
god, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro. Ronaldo is the most certified guy. If you play Ronaldo first leg and he doesn't do much or his team loses, you just know that the next game you guys are
Yeah, sorry,
screwed.
man. You're screwed, man. Just
No matter what
forget
you
it.
do, but yeah.
Ronaldo's draw
Anyways,
first game.
yeah, bro, and let him score one goal so that he's not hungry for that second game.
Bruh. Yeah,
But
scary, man.
anyways, on to the last game here. This one should be, I guess, relatively quick. Is
This game I didn't really
Atletico and
watch.
Dortmund.
I
Yeah,
didn't
I
really watch
watched
this
it
game.
half and half.
Sorry. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
go on.
watched the end. I watched the end. I watched the last 15 minutes, and I watched the first 10 minutes or so because the other game was just way more interesting. First 10 minutes, Atletico was on their neck. It was clear
Yeah,
that they wanted to score early and defend. I don't know. People keep forgetting Atletico Madrid and Simeone's tactics. I think Dortmund just forgot or something. I don't know. They were just not ready. Then after the first half, they came back and they understood what was going on. But at this time, in my opinion, it was already too late
yeah,
because
yeah,
Atletico has done what they usually do. But
yeah.
the end of the game where I watched, Dortmund was actually
They almost
trying
killed.
to
Yeah, they
come
almost
back, and
killed
they
you
even
in
hit the
that.
bar at the last
Yeah,
second. They were
I
coming
think
back up.
twice. I think they about twice last 10, 15 minutes as well.
Yeah,
Um,
the last touch of the game was the bar.
yeah, I
So it
think
was
Brandt was the one that hit the
Brandt's header.
bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But see, man, the thing with Atletico is sometimes when I watch Atletico, sometimes it's hard to understand why Simeone plays the way he plays because when you see Atletico attacking, they're actually a pretty good attacking side, especially when you're factoring in the fact that they defend a lot. Like you would think a team that defends that much can't attack, and that's why they defend. But when they're playing a team they feel like they're better than, or even a team where they feel like okay things are quite even, then they attack, right? And I feel that's what happened in that game, and I feel that tie could have been shot in the first leg. Like they also had chances they missed and whatnot. But overall, I still expect Atletico to win because going back to Dortmund, they will pack some hard balls there that Dortmund.
Yeah, you can't move. But I
Dortmund
expect
will not
a
be ready for.
what's his name now? A Sancho masterclass like we had today. It wasn't the best masterclass, but it was good enough. He played absolutely well today. From the
Yeah,
highlights, because I didn't watch the full game, but from the highlights I watched and from the glimpse that I watched, he was flowing.
yeah,
Atletico
yeah,
Madrid is just another level. Like,
yeah, yeah.
but he was
And
playing absolutely well.
yeah, Tosin, before you go, one thing I wanted to quickly mention that I found really impressive is Atletico have never lost a home knockout game under Simeone, like ever. So
Wow.
for as long as Simeone has been their coach, you can't beat them at home in the
In a
knockouts
knockout.
phase,
Yeah, that's
right?
that's good.
And
Is it
you know
just in
Atletico
Champions League or
like
in
in
or any
Champions League.
competition? Okay.
No, in Champions, it's just knockouts and champs. And I think that's also impressive because we've seen how good Simeone has been in Atletico, but all the unfortunate times he has failed to win champs, this is because he's literally been Ronaldo. If as long as they've gone past group stages, Ronaldo knocks them out, right? But yeah, I just found that like really impressive, like because what that means is if you're facing Atletico and you're going to their home, that like you can't win, literally.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's an insane stat, honestly.
Yeah.
That's and not I don't have much else to share than you guys already did. I think Atletico, like the way they played, like it's already speaks for itself. Like you know what to expect in the next game. Don't come there like thinking it's going to be a 50-50 game. It's going to be an 80 or 70-30 game where like you're attacking. They have nine guys at the back, literally nine
Yeah.
guys at the back, one striker. They get a chance. If they score, they
They're
now
doomed.
now is 10 guys at the back. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, Dortmund will have to score really early to give themselves a chance in
no,
that
for
game.
sure, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think honestly, I think that's it for the recap today. We're definitely looking forward to the second leg. We'll see how that plays out. And then we can go back
Wait,
to
can
our
we drop our
predictions.
predictions
I mean, we technically have our predictions.
for the
Is
second
is
leg after what we've seen in the first leg?
I mean, personally, my predictions don't change. For instance, I have Bayern, Atletico, Madrid, and what's the last game? And Barca. So I honestly don't think I'll change. I feel like Arsenal showed that they can win, right? And then
Thank God
Man
it's not
City
five
showed,
zero
and
like
Man
Tosin
City,
predicted.
but Arsenal and Man City showed they can win. But if they win, they win. But like, yeah, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change my predictions though.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with mine as well. Same thing, honestly. Atletico, Madrid, Bayern, and Barcelona.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
obviously.
Arsenal and Andrew, real
I'm the
quick,
only one that
Arsenal
has
might
the
be
Champions League team
as
in this call, Seth. So I don't know why
yeah,
you guys
great,
are even
great for you,
focusing.
Wow,
bro.
for the first time.
Great for you, bro.
I'm
But
joking. I'm
but what
joking.
one thing you guys need to be careful of when you go to Bayern though is like if your players are rattled by the atmosphere or anything, then
It's
I
going
feel
to be
like you would
bad.
have I feel like you would have a big problem. But for as
Yeah.
long as you guys are not rattled, I think you can beat Bayern, bro.
Okay, so why I'm going with Arsenal is just because of our away record in general this year. It's been amazing, bro. We've played better away than at home. So what they did today was just normal. So what they did when they played the first leg at home was normal to me, and I
Yeah.
feel like second leg Arsenal is going to win. It's going to be tough, but they will win. I feel Barcelona will qualify. They're
Yeah.
just better, and I feel like Madrid would qualify, and I also feel like Atletico Madrid would qualify. But yeah, that's my prediction.
So yeah. So yeah. Let's see how that plays out. But Arsenal, yeah, I definitely won't be surprised if Arsenal actually beat Bayern. Because again, I still think Arsenal are the better team. But I just pick Bayern.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyways, thanks guys for joining in on this recap episode. For sure, expect to see more of this, and then we look forward to seeing you guys again on our next episode.
Peace.
Peace.